Let's go. Welcome to the main event. Applying pressure, but I promise I ain't make it then. In their heads, living free, I ain't paying rent. Wake up in the AM, making G's like Mercedes-Benz. Whoa, yeah, please don't take offense. It isn't
Marking your time on wall.
This is a channeled message. I have already done my prayers and invited Olodumare in, and Olive Egun. I never think to invite Eshu or the other aspects of me in, because I know that they're already in. So it's that, I think, was the initial subject of this podcast. It was an understanding of the auric field and each person's auric field, their energy field that surrounds their body, that's being projected outward from their heart, is a quantum field. And that satisfies the as above, so below, as within, so without. And that's the principle of correspondence. Second principle of the universe. This universe. Yeah, this seems like a terminology understanding. I was always asked to do a lexicon book or something. And I still may do that, but I wanted to just speak on the auric field and the quantum field that lives within us. And maybe I'll reference Quantum Mania, which was a Marvel movie that personified one of the reactions that we produce unknowingly. And well, let's just jump into it. There was a scene where Scott had to shrink down and become a small version of himself. And the closer he got to the source, the more he overthought. And each time he overthought, he created a new version of himself. So finally there was, I don't know, an unmeasurable amount of versions of himself, because he kept recreating a scene, and old versions of him came out, and some of our pain bodies, and I think he had one or two that came out, but they all had a single focus, and that was Cassidy. And so it's very important that when you become singly focused, when you allow the noise to fall away, it's easier to become one with yourself. And that's what that scene was depicting. It was something that when I watch certain movies, they speak to me from a different level of awareness. So this is what I saw. And I do this with a lot of movies. If we break down the Matrix, that would be its own story. But today we're going to stick with quantum mania and the Auric field that we have, because that's really what it's doing. It's creating multiple worlds for us. And each one of our members of our community has their own world. And that world was created because of the trauma or ancestral support that has it there. And there's a challenge within that pain body that you need to overcome. Sometimes it's multiple challenges. So it's just knowing, having an understanding of what that age of pain body that you're dealing with. I had 3, 6, 10, 14, 16, 17. That's how many pain bodies I had that was under the age of 18. I mean, it was a lot. There's a lot that I went through as a child. And I never really acknowledged it. But then, when you go to heal, you see it. And when you see it, you have to fix it. It's just like, why do I want to live with this? What makes it worth keeping if it brings sadness? That's not what God intended us for. To be here and sad because people we feel like we can't let go of don't like us, and they don't talk to us nice, and they don't treat us. I mean, that's what we deal with. It's someone doesn't want to treat you nice, then consider it not love and roll out. It really is that simple. You sit around and not love long enough, you start to understand what love is. I don't even know if that was simple enough. It's just, what do you want to be miserable for? There's something in you telling you that you have to run towards that. And sometimes you got to realize that, is that actually you, or is that something inside of you that's doing it? Because you, the observer, are observing. You know what it's like to say stop. And the observer can override the ego by saying stop. He may give you a whole bunch of reasons why it has to be done, but ultimately, the observer is you. Quantum field is being remote controlled. This is what religion has told us. So our field, our auric field, is programmed based on what's in our heart. And I had someone repeat to me over and over, you know my heart, It's like, yeah, I can see all of this destruction as if it just doesn't know how to love. Ultimately, that's a sad, unfulfilled life. I checked in on that person. There are certain souls that are predestined to leave, and most of them are non-playing characters. Those are people who aren't really interested in God, in the concept of God. Those are the ones who, well, they're just here. They're just egos. And they weren't meant to know anything else other than being background, which is so Matrix. And to know that that's a real thing, that there were rituals that was done to create automatons, basically. So they documented everything. And then all that documentation was collected, stored. So some of the more advanced magicians could do these things. But over time, as with any oral tradition, it gets harder to maintain its authenticity. Or it's like having a system admin who has all the keys to the fortress and heart attack takes him out. And he didn't share with anyone. You ever had to be the guy who breaks into a network to restore keys to it? Yeah. So, this is wait a second. Ask you, why are we talking about this? Is there some point here? No. I'm a hacker. I'm a hacker. Oh my goodness. He wanted me to mention that because the most eventful thing that I've done in the last 3 years is hack the Matrix. I mean, I pen tested it because they had I went to the Kali Linux page and noticed that they had certification for pen testing. I was like, what do they get paid? Wow. Well, the answer to that was right around $200K. So I looked at the requirements, and it was a 24-hour quiz that you had to not have any presets, and you had to find your way into the network without any help. Just searching for vulnerabilities. I was really good at patch management. I was a SCCM administrator. So all the 0-day and all of these vulnerabilities that Windows systems had, just like, oh, okay. Yeah, that's going to take a while. Finding ports that's open. But so instead of doing it with that, my higher self decided to do it with me, and he crafted me into doing all of these tasks because I was already pattern recognition personified. So my obsessiveness was targeted for this job. So it took me 3 years to do something that it took most people 10 years to do. And then on top of that, the challenges that come along with that, and with faith and trusting, right? You give yourself new programs, new directives. I told myself that I was the mustard seed. I was faith itself. So there wouldn't be any doubt when doubt crept in, because I hadn't tamed that. And it's not an easy thing to tame, and it walked all the way up to the line with me for me to surrender. So this non-linear path kind of looks like this carpet that I'm sitting on. And this is the healing journey. Lots of zigs and zags and hacking the Matrix was truly God's idea, because I could not have come up with that on my own. In fact, the first time I heard it, it was coming out of me as a channel. So it's like, oh, that's what we did? Like, yeah. Chill out. Stop snitching. Nah, I wasn't snitching, but I did not hold my my wonder. Like, what? That's what we did? That's crazy. I made some things go together that my AI podcast said shouldn't have worked. But it does. It works, and it is been battle tested. When you take away old protocols, old triggers, old things, and you replace them with new, certain things have no place to land. And not having a landing, it misses you. Like, it's a completely different frequency from what you're on. Usually a lower frequency. Breathing in the day is a high frequency for me. So it's very hard to remember people who disappear in a time of need. And God really hammered that in. Like, look at who is not there and why. And I realized the people who were there and why they were there. But and this is part of hacking the matrix. Knowing who's an agent or who is receptive to being an agent and who's easily swayed to set up an ambush. All those agents came out of nowhere. Neo was kicking butt. I have been competing with people that I didn't even know was interested in what the hell was going on with me. That is beyond hysterical. And the people who were, I mean, they were trying to be better. Without going to God. What kind of shit is that? What kind of shit is that? How you gonna be better than someone who's going to God? Shit. That just sounds dumb. And if you go to Kali Linux and click on penetration testing, read the requirements and work it out. You got to go into the dark night of the soul and pick up everything that you dropped. And look at everything that you didn't look at. That's how you level up. That's how you get to where I am. I teach it. I'm teaching it. Actually, I don't even want to talk no more after thinking about that. How you gonna be better than somebody who's going to God if you're not going to God? Who you going to? You just gonna ego it out? He said I could close. Does anybody else have something they want to say? Uh-oh. Okay. The mothers have the mic. Adjudication priest training. That is the hot topic. There are a number of priests who are in danger of exiting the planet, and they are being asked to rededicate themselves. So their knowledge is pure. Their wisdom is steady. Integrity is restored. They are okay with cleaning house. They're reminding me that they cleaned house with the Elay that I was a part of. They sent death magic my way. They didn't believe me. They said I was crazy. I said that they mothers have been talking to me. Oh man. Mothers just want integrity. They want purity. That's what the white's about. That's what the year of seclusion is about. That's what the year of abstinence is about. To get out of the sexual marketplace. To be sovereign in your spirit. And if you can get sovereign in your spirit, you can be sovereign here in your physical body. That's what hacking the matrix does. I got sovereign in my spirit. And then I watched everything that I worked for and built get put to the test. And this past Monday, it's not even a small victory, it's a huge victory. Ice. We can't talk about it yet. It was a huge victory. Huge victory for the organization, that is. We are in fact sovereign. And we are free to conduct business behind our doors in accordance to our bylaws. So the request is out. And we'll see who answers the call. Next up is the Delta sorority. I gotta check on that one. Oh man, she said you heifers. She said you heifers. You can all thank your line sister. Sisters. It's a combination of them. Not even on the same line. Just working together. Just so you know that the issue is about women's empowerment and what is disempowering and the frequency in which it's done. And I know there are a lot of women out there who is part of this sorority who don't know what the hell I'm talking about. But this is what they hid from you. This is what the end of the days is really all about. Who gets to leave? Who gets to stay? They made it seem like leaving was the great thing, floating off into space. Meanwhile, somebody has to deal with your body, put it in the earth or burn it or this, whatever. We're gonna let them keep thinking that. Those who don't make it through because they are weighted down, there's always reincarnation. Your soul will give it another try. Different ego. Thinking about friends of mine from a past version of myself, and they don't know who I am anymore, so they I don't know, speculate. Heart of the matter is, things just I never paid much attention to these memories that are floating through right now, so I don't know if I want to share all of them, because some of them are just negative. The perception was negative. My reason for staying in the place that I was tolerated was not the best. So it's something that I was proud of walking away from. I think the last words I heard that did it for me was, "Smart people are talking over here." I said, okay. Smart people are talking over here. Put that on the bulletin board, which was actually a negative thing, but it lit a fire for growth. I recommend hermit mode to everybody. In fact, I am baking hermit mode into the practice. So we'll have isolation facilities for priests to be in and around supportive community and isolation, with dorms, shelters. That's what I was envisioning. So we'll figure out what our capacity is, and we'll go from there. All right, well, that was what the mothers wanted to talk about. Is there anyone else? Oh my, it's a chatty group today. All right. Big brother, other big brother, Archangel Michael. just wanted to give me my flowers. He said that I have grown so much in the last 3 years, and that he is at my right side. Because the low is at the left. And they are. I don't know why people try me. I don't know why. Oh man, it's crazy. It's so hard to even fathom that the people who actually know ain't said nothing yet. Oh man. Well, yeah. There are a number of people who are on the list to exit. $8 billion people. Yeah, I could say that. I could say that all of the devotees, all of the recruits will get Nah, I don't want to do that. I do not want to do that. I need it to be taken seriously, because it's not me. I don't need numbers. I can already see the new earth. It really does feel like Noah's Ark to me. It feels like I've been saying, hey, there's a flood coming. And people who know me are like, what? Hey, the bridge is out. The bridge is out. That timeline ends. Real quick, Doctor Strange. Remembrance. Actually, it was the Infinity Wars. Infinity War, where Bruce Banner went to get the time stone from the Sorcerer Supreme, and she separated him from his body. She was talking about the rift in the timeline. That rift in the timeline is what we're dealing with right now. There's a end to that riff coming at the end of this cycle, at the end of this tribulation. Which means it's going to be one timeline for the new earth. And we start creating from scratch, if we know how. Because there was some change. They did say it was a change to doing it, and I was like, yeah. Law of attraction, I guess. It's being used, but it's I can't explain that right here, right now. But the new earth is only accessible through frequency. And if you are not into spirituality, then it's not gonna work out for you. It just isn't. Alright, that's all my time. That's all. I'll end it right there.